Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, what I like to do is to create videos that I would have found helpful when I first got out treasure hunting. Today's video is going to be about free gold and free silver. And we'll talk about how to get free gold and free silver, or at least how I got free gold and free silver. I'm very excited. I've got my first piece of 15 karat gold in this bag. What happened with all of this stuff is a couple different things. Let's go ahead and empty all this out. We'll put it all in a place that you can see it. I want to start with the thing I'm most excited about first, and that is this piece right here. See, it's got a $20 price tag. Now, I didn't pay $20 for it, and I'll tell you why in a second. But this, it's missing one stone, looks like. But it appears to be opals and maybe chip diamonds. You know what? We'll break out the diamond tester here and we'll see what those little stones mean. Around, and if we look inside, we'll see a mark that I got very excited about when I saw. Can I show it there? Yeah, there it is. Oh, come on, camera, you can do it. $15C. There it is. So that's 15 karat, which is 62.5% gold. Now, my understanding, and please correct me if I'm wrong on this, I know my audience knows way more about this stuff than I do, but 15 karat gold was something that was kind of a thing, at least in Britain, from what I can find online, up until like 1930 something, and it was popular from about 1850 on. So my understanding is this is probably a Victorian ring, gold ring. Now, because it's got that 15K mark, or C mark, which is strange, certainly for American jewelry, the store, of course, didn't think it was gold and priced it at that. Now, when I say I got this for free, I got this, and also I grabbed this, which I'll talk about in a second. They had 10 bucks on that. I got them because it's a consignment store. And when I went in, they... first time I went in there looking for something for my wife, got to talking with them, and there were particular things they wanted. So I bring them mostly lululemon clothing, because I find that quite a bit when I'm out looking for my kids' clothes, and they would sell it. And I have store credit, and I use that store credit on this. Now, the cost of the Lululemon, you'd think you might be spending a fair bit of that if you're buying it at the thrift shop, but I'm not, because I shop mostly at clearance stores. I'm not sure if you have any of these near where you are, but the way our clearance store works is that it's by the pound now. Although when I bought most of this Lululemon, it wasn't by the pound. If you filled up a 50-gallon trash bag, you know, those black bags you use for gathering up leaves, anything you could stuff in there was 10 bucks. So I was buying my kids' clothes, and then I was just shoving extra Lululemon that I found into the bag, and I paid for my kids' clothes, and apparently now I've paid for some gold. So I am very excited about this. I'm going to go ahead and use my scissors here. We'll snip that so we can get a better look at this. See if I can get good light. So yeah, we are definitely looking at opals. All carved, hand carved looks like. Missing, is that missing? No, that's got a stone in there. Opal, opal, opal. Ah, we're missing one stone here. Opal. Now, question is, are these little chips diamonds? And you know what we happen to have is a tester. So I'm going to go ahead and pause it. I'll set this down here, and we'll set up our little tester, and we'll be back in a moment. All right, we are set up. Let's make sure up to diamonds, and let us see. These are pretty little. Now, again, if anyone's been watching my channel, you know I know enough to cause some trouble, but I don't know enough to actually tell you for sure. But I think these might have been called chip diamonds, if what I've seen online is correct, because they're not very faceted. All right, let's see. Can I successfully? Nope. All right, I'm going to zoom out here so you can actually see the machine when I try to hit. Well, look at that. Let's try another one, shall we? That was one. Here's another one. Look at that. And let's see, is there any more? Ah, there's one. Or maybe it's the same one, I don't know. But we'll just do it one more time just to... Yep. I wonder what Opal does on this thing. Shall we see? Yep, that's hitting the gold. Opal does nothing at all, huh? Make sure I didn't turn the machine off. Nope. So yeah, it looks like we have opals and diamonds in this little puppy. Since we have the gem tester out, I also found some 10 karat gold earrings. Now, the reason I wanted to mention these real quick is just because they're white gold, even though they're 10 karat. So I tend to find that the white gold is my most common target that I find, because people just forget it exists or don't know it exists. All right, looks like we're amethyst, so we have proper, oh, let me zoom out, I'll do that for you. So it looks like these earrings have amethysts, and then it has some little other stones in it. I don't know if I can get them. Hey, they're diamonds. Amethysts and diamonds. Very nice. So yeah, these were $1. They've just been in my car for a long time. I forgot them there. Sometimes I'll buy things like this and then throw it on my... it's not really the dashboard. My car, I drive a Honda Element. It's kind of got like these little spots. You can just put stuff. And they were in there, and I thought, oh, you know what? If I'm going to be busting out the gem tester for this, I should bust out the gem tester for these earrings too. So yeah, 10 karat and diamonds for $1. That wasn't too bad. All right, I am going to now pause it. I'm going to put away our gem tester, and I'll be back to you in just a moment. All right, gem tester's put away. Let's bust out the scale. Let's see if we get that. There we go. Don't I have a calculator around here somewhere? I guess I will pause again just a moment. Yes, it was in my child's hidey hole. My children really like calculators, especially the 3-year-old boy. He thinks they are just the bee's knees. Okay, so what I want to do here real quick is let's see about how much gold we just got. All right, let's weigh this little ring up. Oh boy, it is chunky. You see that? We've got 5 grams, 5.066. So let's just see what we got here. Say 5 grams times 0.625. And that's because 15 karat is 62.5% gold. If my Googling is correct. I've never found 15 karat gold before. So that's 3.125 grams of pure gold. I'm not sure what spot for gold is at the moment, but you can do that calculation real quick. I've got a little video talking about how to value gold. I'll put a little pip right here that'll point you to that if that's not a calculation that you're familiar with making. But I think we did pretty good. Certainly for free. Now, let's talk about these other things that I got, because one of the routes to free gold is, of course, a consignment store like this. And And then another route to free gold, or in this case, free silver, is by being friendly. There are a lot of resellers that I run into and that I have become friends with. One of the very nice things about my valley is that people here are great. They're just really great. Even the resellers are really great. And most of the resellers kind of have their little niches, what they're comfortable with. Now, there are not many of the non-garage sale. The garage sale resellers that I run into, some of them aren't the nicest people, but for the most part, they're okay. The resellers who haunt thrift shops, though, I've made good friends with pretty much all of them. And one of them does a lot of, she's got a lot of stalls in an antique mall, and I find stuff for her all the time. In fact, when I go into the thrift shop, I just grab stuff for her and then either hand it off to her in the thrift shop or I'll give it to her in a box later. You know, she's kind of retired, or would have retired if they hadn't lost everything back in the 2008 downturn. So she has to continue to work to pay the bills. So she needs stock to put down there. So I've learned what she likes, and she also knows what I like. Now, she's not really up on silver by and large. So she started like keeping an eye out for silver. And I give her so much stuff that she's started to just give me little pieces of silver when she finds it. One of them that she's had for a while is this. And this is a weighted. You can see it's here. It's weighted, and we'll look at what that means and talk about what that means. But it is sterling. So let's zoom in. We'll see the markings. There we go. And we've got the little owl. Trying to recall what that is. I will put in the description who made this. Maybe, I'm not going to guess. But yeah, sterling weighted. So what you have is you have a base here that's covering like cement or resin. And I'll try to put a little pip here to some of my scrapping videos, so you can sort of see what's inside of this. But it gives it a weighted base so that it doesn't tip over without breaking the bank in silver costs. So weighted sterling is not all of the weight of it will be sterling, but in this case, everything from here up is one piece of sterling. So this is a pretty good chunk. We're not talking about an insignificant amount of sterling, which is a princely gift. And that is another way to get free sterling, or at least the way I get free sterling. I have basically been very friendly with all of the other resellers, and all of them get things from me that I find, because it's really no skin off my teeth. I'm out pretty much just trying to save money for the kids, and I'm the worst shipper in the world, so I'm not going to be doing reselling realistically until I can ship reliably. So for the most part, this notion of them getting things from me and maybe throwing a piece of sterling my way if they happen across it is working nicely. So that's another treasure. I quite like this one. That one, I'll wash that one up. Now, when I was at that clearance store, I also found this. You may have been wondering what's going on here. And I grabbed it because I'm certain it's sterling, but it's not marked as such. It's a very large ring, but part of why it's such a large ring, and you can't see it so much from the outside, but if you look on the inside, see those two lines right there? You got one right there and one right there. That's from when this was resized. And it looks like it was resized up very, very significantly. And what may have happened, if it had a 925 or sterling mark, that may have been destroyed in the resizing, because I can't actually find a mark in this thing anywhere. Although when I scrub it, maybe there is a mark somewhere down in all of this gunk. We'll see. If you ever get silver, the first thing to do is scrub it, which, you know what we'll do? Because I have become comfortable in pausing my videos and going and doing something. we will go scrub this and we'll see if there's a mark down in there. All right, well, we washed it up a bit. Not seeing anything, and there is still a lot of silver polish down in there, so I need to get like a really stiff bristle brush, I think, to get it all out of there. But I am not seeing any markings. So I'm guessing that it had a sterling mark in here somewhere. But you can see even when I wash it up, it's real nice, but there's a little bit of tarnish down in the deep grooves. But I think this was definitely a sterling ring that somebody loved. And I don't know, I think that's a man's ring. That certainly is large. Yeah, I don't want to try to have to get that off. But yeah. In any case, I thought for 10 bucks it was, well, you know what? We have here. And of course, when I say 10 bucks, it wasn't actually even 10 bucks. It was something I got off of my credit. So let's see, how much is it? It weighs in at 8.5 grams. So from a silver standpoint, you've got about $8. So that wouldn't have been a terrible buy at 10 bucks in any case. Now, the last thing that you've probably been looking at is this guy. And I only have this in here because I'm doing treasures today. And I do want to show this off. I just love these. This is a state capital, St. Paul, Minnesota. And the MINN certainly dates it, doesn't it? And down here we have the maker and sterling. And I just love this work. I really like old silverware. Now, I actually spent more for this than I usually spend on anything. And the reason for that is that I liked it and I wanted it. My mom's family's from Minnesota. And I just really thought it was good. Now the question is, I spent a whole $13 on this at one of the good thrift shops. They're a very good charity, so the money's going to a good purpose. And also I'm getting some sterling. Well, let's see. Did I overpay for it just from a total weight? I think I probably. Let's see. Can we make this work? What do you folks think? Is that gonna work? I gotta look down here and see. No, that's working. So we've got 14.213, which means I paid about spot for this. Can't complain about that. I'm quite pleased to pay spot for silver. No premium effectively. And something that I like to boot. So if you're out and about and you see stuff like this, definitely if you're a stacker or someone who's just looking to hold some precious metals, there's nothing wrong with a bit of sterling. Now, resale for a bit of sterling is different than bullion, sure. And I know some people are upset by that. But frankly, if you're already out and about looking for something, there's no reason not to grab it. And of course, resale for something like this, I'm sure to the right buyer, I could make a couple bucks. I bet you I could sell this for 15 if somebody, if I put it up for sale again. So why not? It's a good thing to put into the collection. Same thing with this. I'm sure somebody will pay me 10 bucks for that if I wanted to sell it again. Although I'm quite curious to see what's going on with it. You know, we'll add this to our pile of things to be tested. I mentioned in a previous video that I got some test acid. So we'll be able to do some home testing here. But if you are a regular viewer, you've probably noticed that there's something really wrong with my voice. And I am suffering under a very, very ugly cold at the moment. And my voice is probably about to die on me. But it's definitely lowering my brain power. So if I'm rambling, let's blame the cold and not just my natural propensity for rambling. If you like this video, please smash that like button. And if you haven't yet, I hope I earned your subscription. And leave comments on any of these things. I'd love to know more about this ring. I think it's gorgeous. To find 15 karat gold is extremely cool to me. And there is one big question I have. I couldn't find good information online as to whether or not the gold hallmarking in Britain is the same as silver hallmarking, because I know in Britain you can't sell silver, and haven't been able to for a very long time, without it having all the proper hallmarks. But gold, I don't know if that's the case. I assume if that's the case, then this is a piece of probably Victorian jewelry that was made probably in America. But I found things online that seem to indicate that maybe British gold could just say 15C on it, and that was okay. And I would love some clarification on that if anyone can do that for me. I hope that you can use this information to go out and find some treasure for yourself, and I hope you have a great day.